This week we kicked off Community Conversation with a new format. What we're going to do now is we're going to approach the very difficult issues of our culture and see how, as people of faith, we need to understand those by a dialogue. We started this week with a very difficult one that is kind of taking all of the airtime right now, and that is sexual harassment. And I asked my friend Mark NeJame if he would come just as a prominent attorney in our area, actually nationally, and talk about the legal ramifications of this. That's where we started to know, okay, what do we need to be aware of legally? But then we very quickly, through the crowd, took this on a more personal level about what we need to be aware of in ourselves, about how people with power might unwaringly coerce someone without power, or make them uncomfortable, or somehow use that power in an exploitive way. And when we were talking about that, Mark went from an attorney to a father. This was interesting to hear him talk about his daughters and about how this is a very personal issue with him. Mark, could you say something about how you want your daughters to become strong women, but while they're as young as they are, you still want to protect them and have them understand the world's not a safe place?
Yeah, thank you. It's the most important thing that I do and will ever do. Our daughters are 10 and 12, and we're incredibly proud of them. They have big hearts. One of them will hug you and kiss you all over, and the other one wants to save the world. Mm-hmm. So they express their love, and they show their love very differently, but they clearly radiate it. With that said, we've really given them a strong voice and taught them to have a strong voice. I was half kiddingly when I said last night they were utilizing their voice a little too strong on me and had their phones taken away for the night because they were clearly a little too empowered last night. But with that said, we're very proud of that. They listen and they hear, but then we have this conflict. We don't let them spend the nights out over other people's homes. And the reason for that is we simply know that sadly it's not safe out there. And we know some wonderful people that we would love to be able to have them spend the night over. However, we don't know everybody, all their friends' parents, and such. How do you say you can go here and you can't go there? And but then there's a concern that they get a mixed message, because if we had boys, there's typically no issue with letting boys of that age spend the night out with their friends. So on one hand, we don't want them to think that all men are bad, because of course they're not, but we do know that disproportionately men offend. 25% of the women in our country, sadly, if not more, have been sexually violated. And so you have a mixed message where you're strong, you're powerful, you can do anything, but we're not going to let you spend the night over somebody's house because men can be inappropriate. And so there is that tension and there is that issue about finding that right balance. So we've landed on the side of our children's protection comes first. And so we'll do our best to share and teach and show, but until we're a little bit more ready, they're not going to be spending the night out.
Yeah. This is a subject this won't be the last time we talk about this. This is an ongoing dialogue that fits into the overall rubric of how can people use power in order to help those who are vulnerable instead of exploit or ignore those who are vulnerable. And so this is the beginning of this, but it was a wonderful evening. Mark, thank you so much for helping us.
You're
this
wonderful.
is a great kickoff. And we hope you'll come to one of these dialogues at the Orlando Repertory Theatre on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8. Our next one, we're going to be talking about the face of family homelessness in Central Florida. And so come and learn the many challenges that we have ahead of us so that, again, those of us with power can use it to help those of us who don't have it. Thanks for being here.